Hey guys, Ray here with Digital Footprint Solutions. So in today's tutorial, we're going to walk you through 10 steps to build your online store. Now with the pandemic over the past 2 years, a lot of people have gone to online business, but many have no idea where to begin, where to start, or even what to do in creating their own store. And for those who do, it can also be very expensive. So here are 10 steps to build your online store. So number one, we're going to be purchasing your domain name. Number two, we're going to be choosing your hosting plan. Number three, we're going to select the theme that will be used to build your website. Number four, we're going to be building your e-commerce store using WooCommerce. Now, if you have no idea what WooCommerce is, not to worry, we're going to definitely cover that in more detail. Number five, we're going to be uploading your products to your online store. We're going to set up images, we're going to set up pricing, we're going to set up variable products. Step number six, we're going to be setting up live shipping rates. Step number seven, we're going to be accepting payments with PayPal and Stripe. Now, with that said and done, we're now going to start marketing your store. So we're going to look at a few things. We're going to be setting up MailChimp where your visitors will be able to subscribe to your website. We're going to be setting up Google Analytics. We're also going to be setting up your Facebook business page, and we're going to also do Facebook ads and set up your tracking pixel on your website. Again, guys, as I mentioned before, if you have no idea what any of this is all about, not to worry, we're definitely going to cover it in more detail. Step number 9, we're going to be optimizing your site for maximum performance. The worst thing that we want is to have a website and it loads very slowly, so we're going to definitely go through and optimize your website. And finally, step number 10, we're going to optimize your site for search engine optimization. So with that said and done, let's get into it. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create our domain name. So to go ahead and do that, we're going to head over to hostgator.com. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and click on domain, then register domain. So here is where you're going to choose the name of your domain for your website. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and type the name of my son. That's what I'm going to be using, joshuawdaily.com. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit search. Now it is telling me that my domain is available. Now let's say for you, for example, your domain is not available. So I did go ahead and check this before. So it is going to come up as unavailable. So you just pretty much need to choose a new domain name because you can only have one domain name on the internet. Now you can have .net. So if I go ahead and type .net, we can see that that name is actually available. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go ahead and choose joshuawdaily.com. Then go ahead and search. And I'm going to delete this and then I'm going to go to checkout. Alright, so once you're at checkout, if you already have an account, you can go ahead and log in. If you do not, you can go ahead and create an account. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and type Joshua W Daily at gmail.com. I'm gonna choose a password. I'm gonna retype that password. And then I'm just gonna choose a PIN. And then I'm gonna hit continue. All right, so now we're at the billing stage. Now we just need to enter our personal information here, and then we hit continue to checkout. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna speed this up a bit, and I'll be right back. All right, so now we're on the checkout page, and guys, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to provide you with a discount coupon code. So currently the cost is going to be $27.90. So I'm going to give you guys a coupon code, which is just simply type DFSPROMO and then hit apply. Now you're down to $19.94. All right. So we're going to go ahead and check that box. Now what this is basically, guys, is you get your domain privacy protection for 12 months. What that does, it hides your name over the internet. So if somebody tries to look you up, they're not going to get your personal information. So that is a reason. So that is a purpose for the privacy protection. And again, guys, it is pretty optional. So you can go ahead and uncheck that or exit out if you don't need it, but I would recommend that you do. So from there, we're going to go ahead and hit place order. And we are all set. So now we're going to go to the customer portal. And this, guys, is your customer portal for HostGator. All right, so we've just completed step number 1, which is purchasing your domain name. Now, let's move to step number 2, which is choosing your hosting package. Now, there are many different options when choosing your hosting package, and you do not necessarily have to purchase your hosting package from the same company that you purchase your domain from. Now I'm going to walk you through 2 different ways in which you can get your hosting package. So 1, I'm going to use HostGator, and 2, I'm going to show you another hosting company that I personally use along with HostGator called Cloudways. So let's continue. All right, so all we need to do is we just need to go to add a hosting package. All right, so now we're on the page with our hosting packages. So there are multiple packages that we can choose from right here, but the one that we need is one of 2. So it all depends on you. So we have the Hatchling package, which is just 1 site, and that is for $275 per month. Or we have the Baby package, which is unlimited site, which is $350 per month. So what this means is that with unlimited sites, you can have multiple domains under one hosting package. So in the future, if you need to have other domains added to your business, then the unlimited site is for you. If you think you're just going to need just 1 site, then the $275 package is for you. I am going to go ahead and choose the $350 right here. All right, so here we are on this page right here. So we're going to enter our domain name. So it's going to be, for me, joshuawdaily.com. And then let it do its thing. All right. And then next thing that we're going to do, I'm going to say I already own this domain. And Then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go to choosing my hosting plan. So as I mentioned, guys, you can either go for the hatchling or you can go for the baby. Now, the billing cycle, depending on the choice you make, you're going to have 64% off, 58% off. And if you do it on a monthly basis, then it's going to be $11.95 per month. Now, if you do decide to take the 36 months, then it's going to be $3.50 per month. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead and choose the $11.95. And for me, that's perfectly fine. My credit card information is already there. Now, here we have some additional services. And guys, it's not really necessary for you to choose these services. So we're just going to bypass those. And here again, I'm going to enter my coupon code. Then I'm going to validate. And I've got an additional discount of $2.99. So let's continue. We're going to go ahead and check this box right here. And then we're going to head to checkout. All right, so payment completed and HostGator is setting up the account. So give it a few minutes and we should be good to go. All right, so we're going to get this little pop-up right here and we can just simply skip this part. And we're going to go ahead and X this out. All right, now we are back on the dashboard. And as you can see, we have some additional options here. And one of the most important thing that we're going to be looking at is right here, launch cPanel. Now your cPanel is where all the magic happens. And everything that you need to know, I'm going to walk you through it step by step. Now, before we dive deeper into the control panel, let's head back over to our dashboard. So from the dashboard, let's head back down to domains here. And what we're going to do here is point our domain to our hosting. So as is right now, your domain name is pretty much separate from your hosting. So we need to connect them both. So to do that, we're going to click on this little caret right here, more. And you're going to see where it says ns1hostgator.com, ns2hostgator.com. Now these are called name servers and we're not going to get into the technical aspect of it. We're just going to go ahead and change it. So since we already have hosting with HostGator, all we need to do is select our hosting here. So it's going to update automatically and then we're going to click on save name servers. So this now becomes your new name server, ns6291.hostgator.com, ns6292.hostgator.com. So now we're all set and we can get ready to move forward. So now that we've completed this stage, let's head back over to our control panel and dig a little bit deeper into some of these options. So the first thing that we're going to look at is our email account. Now with any business, you want to have a business email address, such as info@Digital Footprint Solutions or contact@Digital Footprint Solutions or Ray Daly@Digital Footprint Solutions. So in this section, I'm going to show you exactly how you can set up your business email account. And we are also going to forward it over to your Gmail account or your Yahoo account, whatever email that you use now. We're going to forward your business email over to your primary email. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So first thing that we want to do is we want to click on email accounts. Once we're here, you're going to see that we have this information right here. And what we're going to do at this point is we're going to create a new email. So here, I'm just going to put JWD. So it already has at the domain name right here. So we don't need to put the full domain name here. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me actually do info. So it's going to be info at joshuawdaily.com. I'm going to set a password. And then I'm going to click on create. And it's as simple as that. All right. Now that we've done that, we're going to go ahead and check our email. So there are different ways in which you can access your email. If you're in the control panel, you can access your email from right here. So instead of using round cube, I'm going to use Hori. And then I'm going to click on open. So technically we have all the information here, and this is everything that you need if you want to use a mail client with your business email address. And we're not going to get into that during this tutorial. I may do a separate video on how we can set it up through Outlook or how we can set it up through Google Workspace. But for right now, we're just going basic. So let's go ahead and send an email just to make sure it works. So I'm going to send an email to myself. And my subject is going to be test and test. Then I'm going to hit on send. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and check my email at this point. And here you can see where it says test. Now let's go ahead and reply to this email and say, I received the test, and let's click on send. Let's head back over, refresh, and it can take a few seconds to come in, so give it a few seconds. And there we have it. So we know now that our email is working correctly. All right. So let's head back over to our cPanel. And now let's create a forwarder. So to do that, we're going to click on forwarder right here. All domains, that's going to be your domain here. We're going to click on add forwarder. And then address to forward. So the address to forward is going to be info. Again, we do not need to type at your domain name. It's already here. So if you have multiple domains, then you would see a list here in the drop down. Since I only have one, then I'm only going to see one here. Now I'm going to forward the email address to info@digitalfootprintsolutions.com. Then I'm going to click on add forwarder. Let's go back. And we now have it all set up. All right, so that wasn't too bad, guys. Pretty simple. All right, so let's now head back to our cPanel, and we're going to scroll down all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to now install WordPress. So we're going to click on WordPress here, and then we're going to click on install now. Now, once we're here, again, if you do have multiple domains, it's going to be in this drop down. Because I only have one, then we're only going to see one domain name here. Now here, admin account, we're going to put our admin information here. And we're also going to have our admin password. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to do password 123. And of course, guys, I am going to change this later on. And then I am going to scroll down, and then we're going to hit install. So it's going to take maybe a minute or two depending on your computer speed. So give it a few seconds. All right, so now we have WordPress installed. So here we have the domain name, and here we have the dashboard. Now to log into the dashboard, it's your domain name /WP admin. So let's go ahead and do that. And now this is your WordPress dashboard. All right, so we've just completed step number 2 by purchasing our hosting, installing WordPress, and as a bonus, I showed you guys how to set up your business email. So now let's move on to step number 3. All right, so for the purpose of this video, I have logged out of my dashboard just to give you an idea as how to log back into your dashboard. So now, as you can see, I'm right here on my domain, joshuawdaily.com. And to get into your dashboard, we want to get to our login screen. So to get to our login screen, we're going to go ahead and type /WP-admin. Once we do that, we hit enter. Then we're taken to this login screen. So whatever your login information is when we set up WordPress, that's what you're going to type here. So for me, it was admin. And then it was also password 123. Hit enter or login. Oh. All right, so I'm going to log in again. And here we're back on our dashboard. Now, there are a few things that we need to do before we actually install our theme. So I did go ahead and make some of these changes simply because I had a recording mishap. But nevertheless, we're going to go to settings. And then we're going to click on general. So I've already added what I needed to add here. So for you, you're going to have my blog, and then you're going to have the WordPress tagline here. You can go ahead and change that to your company name and also change your tagline here. The next thing that you want to do, you want to click on anyone can register, because we are setting up an e-commerce store and you're going to want people to actually subscribe. As we scroll down, we're going to change our time zone to whatever time zone you have. For me, it's going to be New York. And then we're going to click on Save Changes. Now, once we have done with that, we're going to go to Permalinks. And whatever your default setting is, we're going to change that to post name. So why are we doing that? Well, for example, if you have an About Us page, then you want your URL to read joshuawdaily.com/aboutus versus something like this or something just random. So once we do that, we're going to click on Save Changes. All right, next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go to Pages. And I've already deleted mine, but you should see about 3 default pages here. All you need to do is click on title, and then you're going to hit trash. As a matter of fact, let me do this. So let me just go ahead and add a page. Just giving myself a little bit more work. But I want you guys to be absolutely clear as to what you're doing. So you don't have to follow me along with this one, guys. I'm just giving you an example. So I'm going to head back to my dashboard. And here we have home. So as I said, you would have 3 default pages here. All you need to do is click on title. It will actually select all 3 pages. Then you're going to go to bulk actions. Then you're going to click on move to trash. Then we're going to click on apply. Next, we're going to go to trash because we want to remove it totally. Then we're going to click on title again. We're going to click on this little caret, and then we're going to click on delete permanently. Then click apply. Perfect. So next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go to plugin, and we're going to go to install plugins. Now you would have had quite a few plugins here. Honestly guys, none of them is really necessary except these 2 that I have here. So again, you're going to go to plugin. You're going to click on bulk actions. There are a few plugins that you have that are deactivated, and there are a few that is already activated. So the first action you want is to deactivate all your plugins. So you're going to click on deactivate, and then you're going to click on apply. Once you do that, all your plugins should now say activate here and is ready for deletion. So next, you're going to click on plugin again. Click on this little caret. Then we're going to click on delete. Now I'm not going to delete these, but you can go ahead, hit delete, and then click on apply. And that should delete all your plugins again, guys, except Jetpack and Yoast. Now let's add a few plugins for ourselves. So what we want to do to add plugins is we want to go to add new up here. And the first plugin that we're going to be installing is WooCommerce. Now, WooCommerce provides the shop functionality. It provides the checkout card. It provides the checkout and the checkout card for your visitors. So let's go ahead and type WooCommerce inside the search. All right, and now we see WooCommerce right here, and we've had 5 million active installs, and it was just updated just a day ago. So pretty up-to-date plugin. So let's go ahead and install the plugin. And then we're going to click on activate. So we're activating the plugin. All right, so now the WooCommerce plugin has been installed on our dashboard. So if we hover over our name here, we're going to see another option, Visit Store. Prior to this being installed, Visit Store was not available. So if we go ahead and click on Visit Store, so we're going to open in a new tab. You're going to see where we have the cart, checkout, my account, and shop. So this is the WooCommerce menu. All right, now let's head back over to our dashboard. And we're going to install a few more plugins before we leave this screen. All right, so we're going to click on add new one more time. Then we're going to search for abandoned cart. Light, and this is the one that we need, and we're going to go ahead and install it. So what this does is that it notifies the customer, or it reminds the customer that they had left a product in the checkout cart, and they can go ahead and complete their purchase. So let's go ahead and activate. All right, we're going to click on add new again. And this time we're going to look for advanced shipment. And it's going to be advanced shipment tracking for WooCommerce. So we have it right here. We're going to go ahead and install this. Click on activate. Now what this plugin does is that it allows you to add a tracking code for your customers. So once you go to the UPS store, get that tracking code, then you can input it into your dashboard, and then your customer will be able to track their product on their end. Pretty simple. All right, now sometimes this does take a while, but what I tend to do sometimes is just hit refresh. Let me activate again. Sometimes these plugins can be a little bit stubborn. All right, let's check to see if it was installed. So I'm just going to click on install, and it actually was. So yeah, as I said, sometimes it can be a little bit funky. So nevertheless, we have it installed here. All right, so we're going to take a break from adding the plugins at this point. There are more plugins that we will add later on in the tutorial, but for right now, we're pretty okay with this. So let's go ahead and go back to the dashboard. All right, we're moving along, guys. So the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to add some pages to our website. Now we already have the shop pages, which is fine, but we need our own pages here, such as our home page, about us, contact, and so forth. So let's go ahead and put those in. So we're going to go back to our dashboard, and we're going to click on pages. And here you can see all the pages that were created by the WooCommerce plugin. Now let's go ahead and add pages of our own. So we're going to go up here to add new. And the first page that we're going to add is our home page. Now we can click this little or uncheck this little box down here, so we don't have to be confirming every time we create a page. So we're just going to click on publish. Then we're going to go back to the dashboard. We're going to click on add new. We're going to type about. Ooh. So you can do about us, or you can just do simply about. The choice is yours. Let's go ahead and publish. Then we're going to go back to dashboard, and we're going to enter our contact page. We're going to hit on publish. Now this is kind of repetitive, so if you want to add additional pages to your website, just simply follow the process. All right, so now we have all our pages, and now we need to create a menu. Now to add your menus, guys, all we need to do is head down here to appearance. Now before we move to creating our menu, before there was 5.9, once you click on appearance, you've had multiple options here. With the new version of WordPress 5.9, we now have these three options right here. Now, to fix that problem, not going to go into details, but to fix that problem, all we need to do is go to themes. Then you can see where we have 2022 active. We just need to make one of these guys activated. So we're just going to activate one of these guys here. And now you can see where we have our menus, widget, customize, background, and so forth here. Now, once we install the theme that we're going to use, then we're going to no longer need this. But for right now, just to set up the menu, we're just going to use this on a temporary basis. So let's go ahead and click on menus. Now in menus, as you can see here, we have pages. So the pages that we just created are listed here. And if you want to view all, just in case one or two menu does not show up here, we just simply click on all. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and create a new menu. So we're going to click on create new menu. And we can go ahead and type, for me, I'm going to say main menu, but you can type anything. We're going to make sure we click on primary navigation. And then we're going to go create menu. Perfect. So now we have a new menu here. So all we need to do, guys, is simply add these pages over here to our new menu. To do that, let's just click select all, add to menu, and here you can see that your menu has been created. Now let's go ahead and rearrange these. So we want to have the home page at the start up top here. So we're just going to left click and hold, drag upwards. We then want our shop page just beside the home page. So we're just going to left click and hold, drag upwards. Now you guys can go ahead and rearrange these any which way you choose. This is just my preference. Then I want to have the about us here. And I want the contact page all the way to the end. Once we've done that, we just go ahead and click on save. Then we can just go ahead and view our page. So hover over here. Then we're just gonna right click and open in a new tab. So now we have all the pages or the menu pages exactly how we want them. Now let's head back over to our dashboard and continue. All right, now this is pretty much what most of you guys or all of you guys are waiting for, which is downloading your theme and let's start building our website. Because right now it's pretty boring, right? I agree. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna head over to elegantthemes.com. Oops. We're gonna head over to elegantthemes.com, and the theme builder that I use is called Divi. Now, why I recommend Divi and why I personally use Divi is because of its user-friendly interface. So for a non-tech person and for someone who has never built a website, using Divi is going to be easy as 1, 2, 3. Now, right out the box, Divi will provide you with layouts, templates, ready-built templates. So all you need to do, guys, is just simply find a template that you like, and you can go ahead and customize it. Now, this might sound foreign to you, but don't worry, we're going to walk through that step by step. So let's get back to Elegant Themes. Now, the next thing that we're going to do, let's go over to pricing. So once you're here, you're going to have two options. You're going to have the yearly access or the lifetime access. So the choice is yours, whether you want to pay the $89 per year or you just want a lifetime access up to $49. Now I will leave a affiliate link below, and I would appreciate if you guys would use that link, but in the event that you don't, that's perfectly fine. Now once you make the purchase, you just log into your account, then you can go to my download, and then you can go ahead and download the theme from here. Now, since I already have the theme downloaded on my desktop, then I'm going to show you guys exactly how to import it onto your WordPress dashboard. So let's keep it going. All right, so we are back on our WordPress dashboard. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go to Appearance. We're going to go to Themes. We are then going to go to Add New. Then we're going to click on Upload Themes. Now, before I do that, there are quite a few themes here. One of the best themes that I've used, which is a free theme, is Astra. Pretty awesome theme, and it is used with Elementor. But for this tutorial, we're not doing that today. So we're going to go ahead and click on Upload Theme. We're going to choose File. And then I'm just going to search for my theme. So I have it here, so you guys can look for it wherever you had downloaded it before. We're just going to click on the zipped file, then we're going to click on open, then we're going to click on install now. Next, we're going to click on activate, so we're going to activate the theme. And here we have our new Divi theme and it's active. So what we can do, guys, just to lessen the resources of our website, we can go ahead and delete these other themes. So let's just go ahead and do that. Perfect. So now we only have the Divi theme on our dashboard and that's all we need. So perfect. Now the next thing that we're going to do before we do anything else, we have to activate it. So to activate it, we're going to go down here to Divi. So this is a new option and we're going to go to themes, theme option. From here, you're going to go to update. And then we're going to head back over to Elegant Themes where you purchase your theme builder. We're going to go to username and API key. From here, we're just going to scroll down and your username, which for me is going to be this. We're going to paste it here. And then for the API key, we're just going to copy and paste it here. And then we're going to click on Save Changes. We're all set. Now we have our Divi builder installed and we're ready to rock and roll. All right, now welcome to step number 4, which is building out your WooCommerce store. Now in this section, we're actually going to create products. We're going to add these products and you're going to see the store actually being built out. Now, before we get to that stage, what I want to do is give you just a brief idea as what the builder is all about. So what I'm going to do is just create a demo page and show you guys around. So let's get started. Now I'm going to go to pages here and you guys already know how to do this. We're going to go to add new. From here, we're going to type demo page. We're going to click on publish, publish again. And then we're going to click on use Divi builder. So give it a second, but while it does its thing. Now, as it loads for the first time, you guys are going to get a welcome screen. And for me, I did not. But once you get past that little welcome screen, you're going to see these 3 little options right here. So we have build from scratch, choose pre-made layout, and clone existing page. Now let's take a look at the pre-made layout. We discussed this just briefly in the beginning of the video. So let's go to pre-made layout. And I'm just going to go ahead and choose this one, design agency. I'm going to choose use this layout right here. All right, it is loading. All right, so here we have pretty much a web page. Now, what we can do here, as we hover over these sections, you'll see where it's highlighted. These are areas that you can actually edit. So if we go right here and we click on this little gear icon, we can change this from creative to awesome. Awesome design agency. Click on this little check mark and bam, we have awesome. If we need to go ahead and change the color, we go ahead and click on this gear again. We now go into design. So content is where we write the content that we need. Design is where we go and change the font size. the padding and margins, and a few other options that we have here. And again, once we start building out our e-commerce store, we're going to go through all of these. So as I said, I'm just giving you just a brief overview of the Divi theme. Now, if we go to heading text, let me change that. You'll see where it says Montserrat. We can actually change that over to, let's say, Poppins. It changes. If we scroll down, we can actually make it center aligned, we can make it left aligned, or we can make it right aligned. Here we have text size, so we can just drag this slider up or down, make it bigger or smaller. We can also change the color. Prefer white. And as we scroll down, we can also change the letter sizing there, or letter spacing I should say. And we can also change the line height, so we can actually make it much tighter, or we can give it some room to breathe. All right, now as we scroll down, we have these little sections right here. Now here we have what is called a row. Now once we hover over here and click on this little icon right here, it's going to give us different options in regards to columns. So we have 2-column layout, 3-column layout, and you can see the different type of layouts that we have here. Now right now, this is a single column layout. Now if we go ahead and click on double column layout, this is what's going to happen. And over here, once we click on this plus sign, we're going to bring up few modules. So we have text module here, we have video modules, we have image modules, and so forth. So let's click on the image module, and we're going to look for an image. So let's say I want to bring this in. We're going to click on update image, and there we have our image module right there. All right, so as I said, guys, it's pretty easy to customize the web page to your desire. And once we go through building out the e-commerce store, once we're done, you'll be able to build any website you choose. All right, now let's go ahead and save that, and we're going to exit. So we're heading back to the dashboard, and I'm going to delete the page. I really don't need it. So demo, and then we're going to go to move the trash, apply. Then we're going to go to trash again. And again, guys, we have been through this before. Permanently delete. And we're back. All right, now let's get started with building out our e-commerce store. Now let's head over to WooCommerce. So we're going to hover over WooCommerce here. Then we're going to scroll down to settings. Then we're going to click on settings. Once we're here, we're simply going to enter some information. This is going to be the address that you're shipping your items from. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. Now here at general options, we have selling locations. So are you planning on selling to all countries? If not, then we're going to sell to specific countries. So here is where we're going to select United States. In my case, for you, you might be selling to United States, Canada, Puerto Rico. You can also enter that here. So if we say Canada, and then Puerto Rico, we can always enter that information here. But in my case, we're just going to be selling to the US, so that's perfectly fine. Shipping location, ship to all countries you sell to. All right, so here where it says shipping location, we're going to click on the drop down, and we're going to select ship to specific countries only. And here we're going to select again United States. Again, in my case, default customer location, shop country, region. That's going to remain as default. Now, if you're planning on having your customers pay taxes, then we want to enable that here. And then as we continue down, all of this is going to be left as default, and we're just going to click on changes. All right, now as you can see, when we selected taxes here, it actually added another tab up here, taxes. So we're going to be looking at this later on also. Now, as for products, we are going to make some changes here. So depending on the country that you're in, we typically are going to be using here ounces. So whatever your unit is, you're going to select it here. Next, we have dimensions unit. Again, we're going to be using inches. And I think everything else can remain as is. If you want to enable product reviews, we can leave this checked. If you do not, then go ahead and uncheck this. Show verified owner label on customer reviews. We can also leave that as checked. So again, everything here can be left as default. Again, let's go ahead and click on save. All right, we are going to look at shipping later on in the tutorial. Let's go ahead and take a look at payment. Now, there are a few options that we can take when accepting payments on our WooCommerce store. Two of the recommended ways are using PayPal and also using Stripe. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to download the PayPal plugin so we can use PayPal, and we're also going to download the Stripe plugin so we can go ahead and use Stripe. So let's head back to our plugins here, and I'm going to open this in a new tab with add new. All right, now that we're here, inside the search field, we're just going to enter PayPal. And we should see some options come up. The option that we need is going to be WooCommerce PayPal payment. So we're going to go ahead and install that. Then we're going to click on activate. Next, we're going to download the Stripe plugin. So we're going to click on add new. In the search field, we're going to type Stripe. And we're going to choose WooCommerce Stripe Payment Gateway. We're going to click on install. And then we're going to activate. All right, perfect. Now let's head back over to our dashboard. Sorry, let's head back to WooCommerce and go back to settings. And then let us go back to the payments tab. And now we can see quite a few more options added to our dashboard. So here we're going to choose, where is it? All right, so here we're going to choose PayPal right there. So we're going to enable PayPal. And next thing that we're going to do, we are going to pretty much activate PayPal to our account. So at this point, if you do not have a PayPal business account, you would need to go to paypal.com and create yourself a business account. Once you do that, you'll be able to continue with the tutorial. All right, so by now I would assume that you've created your PayPal account if you did not have one in the first place. So what we're going to do now is we're going to activate PayPal. All right, now here you're going to enter the email that you set up your PayPal account with. Since joshuawdaily.com does not have a PayPal account, I'm going to use my existing email address at this point, which is info@digitalfootprintsolutions.com. We're going to click on next, and then my password is already here, so I'm going to click on login. I'm going to agree and connect. So at this point, we're connecting PayPal with our WooCommerce store. Here, I'm going to choose use existing business account. You can also skip this and do it later, but I'm going to do this now. I'm going to click on next. So the business type for me is I'm going to be a private corporation. There are limited liability or general partnership. So you will choose what is applicable to your business. Here, you're going to provide the name that you want on your statement. Here, you're going to provide the name that should appear on your customer's credit card statement. So for me, let me just put JWD. Here, you can choose your products. So let me see what's available. Yeah, here it is. And you don't have to be too specific, guys. This is just for PayPal backend. So how much are you looking to generate in terms of monthly sale? I'm going to leave this as 5,000 to 24,900. And the website, I'm going to put the name of the website here. And contact information for customer support. Here I'm going to enter info@joshuawdaily.com. And then for my telephone number, I'm going to put 954-361-5215. Then we're going to click on next. Now let's go ahead and fill in some personal details. And then we're going to click on agree. And then we're going to click on next. From this point, you guys can go ahead and fill out the necessary information. And once you're done, we just head back over to our WordPress dashboard. All right, so congrats on completing your PayPal setup. Now let's go ahead and set up our Stripe account. Now we're going to go back to WooCommerce and we're going to click on payments. Then we're going to scroll down to Stripe right here, and we're going to activate Stripe. All right, so now let's go ahead and create an account or connect an account. Now again, guys, you do need a Stripe account if you do not already have one. So you want to head over to stripe.com and create yourself a Stripe account. It is 100% free to do so. All right, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and connect to an account. And the email I'm going to use is contact@digitalsolutions.com. I'm going to click on continue. Password. Incorrect password. All right, and I'm going to get a 6-digit verification code to my phone that was used. then I'm just going to simply connect the store. Alright, so now what we can do here is just set up some general information. Here you're going to set up the name you want to be displayed. So we want to just pretty much say use debit/credit card. And pay with your card, we just want to just say pay with your card or debit card. And you can actually, as a matter of fact, let's just do this. All right, so for here, let's just say credit and debit. Can't spell debit. Debit card payment. All right, and we can enable test mode if you want to go into testing, but I'm not gonna do that right now. All right, so for account details, we just want to go ahead and set this up. For me, I have not set up my account fully on my Stripe account because personally I don't use Stripe, but it is a popular payment gateway. All right, so as we continue to scroll down, we can just go ahead and go to save changes. All right, now that we're there, we are pretty much done with all this. So let's get back to settings and see what else we need to set up. All right, so we have gone through the general. We have looked at payments, account and privacy. Let's click on that. Now here, you can go through and check what is applicable to your business. Here it says allow customers to place orders without an account. We can do that, or if you don't want to, you can uncheck that. Allow customers to log into an existing account during checkout. We want to check that. Account creation, allow customers to create an account during checkout. Yes, we want the ability for customers to do that. Allow customers to create an account on the My Account page. Yes, we want them to do that also. Here, account erasure requests. Remove personal data from orders on requests. We can pretty much leave these unchecked. And for your privacy policy, we can leave this as default. We can go ahead and click on Save Changes. All right, now for email, let's click on the email tab. Now here is where the system will generate emails for both you and your customers. So for new orders, it's going to be at, and I'm going to change this. So you're going to enter your business email address here. So for me, it's going to be info. And just let me copy that because I'm a bit lazy. And I'm going to click on save. Let's click on email again. And we're going to change canceled orders. So we want that information to come to our email address. So we're going to go ahead and update that. Click on save changes. We're going to click on email again. And the final one, failed orders. Again, we want to be notified. So again, let's go ahead and put our email address in. And save changes. All right, perfect. Now, integration. We're not going to look at that right now. As a matter of fact, we don't need to look at that. And as for advanced, everything here is pretty much default. So again, we are pretty much done with setting up our WooCommerce store. So at this point, we're pretty much done with the settings option. All right, let's continue. Now let's head back to WooCommerce. So we're just going to click on WooCommerce here. And as we can see, guys, get ready to start selling. So we have completed our payment. So let's complete our store detail here. So we already have our mailing address or our shop address. Then I'm going to click on no thank you. We're going to choose now our industry. So for me, I'm going to do electronics and computer, then continue. Product type is going to be physical products. We are not doing any downloads. We're not doing subscriptions. We're not doing memberships, just physical products. Once we've done that, we're going to click on continue. And how many products do you plan to display? I'm going to say anywhere from 11 to 100. Currently selling anywhere else? I'm going to say no. If you already have stores on Amazon or eBay, then you can say yes on another platform. But for me, I'm going to say no. And I'm going to click on continue. Now here, add recommended business features to site. If we click on the drop down, we're going to get a bunch of stuff right here. We don't need that, so I'm going to uncheck this. And I'm going to click on continue. All right, now here we're just going to continue with our active theme. And now it's time to set up our products. So we are going to click on add manually. And now we're going to start adding products to our store. All right, so let's get started by adding some products to our store. So the first product I'm going to look for here is going to be LG tablet, slim model MX23565. I'm just making that up. And I'm going to add some dummy text over here. And just gonna place it in the description section here. And for the short description, where it says product short description, I'm just gonna copy this, but I'm going to erase just that. Or probably just a little bit more. So this is the short description that will be beside the product. All right, now as we come back up to here where we see simple product, we're going to change this over to variable product because we're going to choose different colors of the LG product that we have here. Now, what we want to do now is we want to go to inventory, and we're just going to put in a number, which is an identifier. And then if you want to manage stock, we can go ahead and click on that. And we can say we have 150 in stock. Allow back orders, no. And low stock threshold, we can put that to, let's say, 15. So once it goes down to 15, then you will be notified. All right, now as for the shipping aspect of it, we have, all right, so weight, 7 ounces. Let's say dimension 30 by 30 by 3, and no shipping class at the moment. And here is where we're going to add the different colors. So here we can say color, and then for the colors we're going to do gray. Now we have the pipe symbol, which is just above the enter key, so that's that line that we have there. And then we're going to put blue, and then the pipe symbol again, and we're going to put black. All right, we're going to also select used or variations, and then we're going to click on save attributes. All right, now that we have that, we're going to go down to variations here, and we're going to add variation. So add your variation, create variations from all attributes, where we're going to click on go, click OK. So 3 variations added. And here we have gray, blue, and black. So let's go ahead and put those information in. So right here is where we're going to put the image of the tablet. So we're going to click on this little image right here. I'm going to look for my tablet. Let me take it off screen and just look for my folder. And what I'm going to do is simply just import all these images inside my media library. So we're just going to do it one time instead of going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, perfect. So the first one we're going to do is the gray. So let me go back here and we're going to choose this gray tablet right here. Then we're going to put the price in. So the price is $199. And we're going to put the weight. Let's say the weight is 6 ounces. And the dimension, we're going to do, let's say 30 by 30 by 3. And you don't necessarily need to do this at this point, but if you know the dimensions and the weight, then you can just go ahead and do it. All right, once we're done with that, we're going to click on the blue. Same process. And we're going to enter the price. So the price is going to be the same. And the weight is going to be 6 and 30 by 30 by 3. And finally, we're going to do the black. Same $199, 6 ounces, 30. And then we're going to click on Save Changes. All right. Now that we've completed that, what we need to do now is over to the right side where it says Product Categories. We need to add categories for our products. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to say tablet. So that's our category. And then we're going to add category. Now we need a subcategory for this. So in this case, we're going to say LG. So that's the brand that we have here. So LG, and then this is going to be a child of the parent category. So here it says parent category, that's the tablet. So once we click on tablet, this is now going to become the this is now going to become the child category. So once we add, you're going to see it kind of indented under the tablet there. All right. Now, as for product tag, we can do LG, we can do tablet, we can do black tablet. So you kind of get the idea. These are just keywords that you can use. And then for the product image, we're going to select, let's say, this one right here. All right, so that's your product image. Now for your product gallery, we're going to enter all 3. So we're going to check all 3 and then we're going to add to gallery. All right. So once we've completed all of that, we're going to click on publish. Awesome. So now our product has been created. So if we right click, we can go ahead and take a look at our product. So here's our product right here. And we have the different variations. So we have the gray, blue, and black. So if we go to gray, it's going to shift. If we go to black, it's going to shift. Go back to blue, it's going to shift. And we can actually hover and we kind of can see what's going on. All right. Below that, we have the description. Additional information would be the weight and the dimension and the colors. And if there were reviews, then reviews would be seen here. Now we can add to cart if we need to add to cart. And also we can pay with Google Pay. So we'll take a look at these later on. And of course, we're going to customize this also in future tutorial. All right, so not to worry, because we don't want this over here to the right. Right, guys? We do not. All right, perfect. Now let's continue. Okay, so we're going to take a break just for a second. And I just want to say this. Whenever you're uploading images, it's very likely that some of those images have different sizes. Now, with a different size, then it's going to become very uneven on your shop page. And we don't want that. We kind of want things to be uniformed. So in order to do that, there is a website that we can go to. And the name of that website is footor.com. So that's FOTOR.com. And you can use any photo editing software, but this is a free version. I use Photoshop. So once we're here, we can actually go ahead and I'm going to look for presentation. I already did it here. And I'm not 100% familiar with Footor, but it's pretty simple. So I'm just going to give you a basic run through of how to get your images of the same size. All right, now that we're here, we kind of want to look for any one of these and we're going to click on that. Now, once we're here on this screen, we want to go to create new. And there might be an easy way to do this, guys, but I'm just going the step that I know. All right, so we want to create a custom size. And the custom size that we want is going to be 1000 by 1000. Click on new design. Let's close some of these tabs. All right, so now we have 1000 by 1000 background here. Now, if you want to go ahead and change the color of the background, then you can go ahead and do that. So we can click on background. And if you want to go ahead and change it to a lighter gray, or you want to keep it to the white, that's perfectly fine. Now, in order to import your images, we're going to click on upload. And we're going to click on upload here. And let's say we want to import this laptop. We're going to click on the laptop. And then we want to put the laptop over here. So we're going to click on that and there it is. Now, if we want to resize it, we can easily do that by just holding down right here at the corner. Left click and hold, drag. Left click and hold, drag. And there you have your 1000 by 1000 picture. Now, we can keep it at the normal size, that's fine. The most important thing is the background itself, this container right here. Now, once we've done that, we can go ahead and click on download. And high resolution, we want to change it to normal JPEG. And we can say laptop resized. Then we're going to click on download. All right, now we need to choose the folder that we want it in. And let's say here for me. And we're good to go. So once you have products and you want to ensure they're of the same size, then this is something that you need to get done. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty uneven on the homepage. All right, so just a little side note, guys, let's get back into the tutorial. All right, so to add the next product, we're going to go ahead and click on add new. And for this product, it's going to be a laptop. All right, so let's add a product name. So Asus 15-inch laptop dual processor, 1 terabyte, and you can add again whatever description you want to add. Here I'm going to put the description of the product. Wrong place. So I'm going to put the description of the product here. And remember, this is a long description, which is seen down here. And for the short description, that's where we add it down here for short description. So short description, I'm just going to add that. And here we can actually, let's say, do some bullet points. So we can have 1, let's say 2, let's say we have another one here, and we can just highlight and then hit bullet. All right, so now we're going to add the price. So the price is going to be $179. This is a simple product, so there are going to be no variations. For the inventory, we're going to add a, let's say, an identifier, so SKU. So we're going to add some numbers here. We can manage stock, so we can enable stock management, and we can say we have 150 in stock. We do not allow back orders. Low threshold, we can, let's say 20. So when it's down to 20, then we're notified. And for shipping, again, let's say the weight is going to be 25 ounce. Dimension, let's say 35 by 35 by 3. And link products, we do not have any. Attributes, we do not have any. And all we need to do now is come over to the product category and add a category. So here we're going to say laptops, and we're going to click on add new. All right, then we're going to say this is an Asus 15-inch. So Asus 15-inch laptop, and this is going to be a child of laptops. So we're going to click on add new category. As you can see, it's underneath the laptops itself. And then for product tags, you can go ahead and add your product tags. And then for product image, we can go ahead and add our image. So for the image, I'm going to add this right here. And for the product gallery, I'm going to add that same image. Now, there's no need to really do this since we do not have any other view of the same laptop, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of it. All right, once we've completed that, we want to click on publish. And then we want to view our product. So we're going to right click on the link, then open link. And here we have our laptop. All right, see? So as I said, guys, because we only had one, there was no need for us to add a image to the gallery, but I did it just the same. All right, so we can just go ahead and choose if we wanted to. Then we can add to cart. We have the description down here. Additional information, we have the weight and the dimension. And again, as I had mentioned before, this is where you would see your reviews. All right, so now you know exactly how to add a simple product, and we also know how to add a variable product. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more products to the shop, and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back, guys. Now I'm sure by now you've added all your products to your shop, and we're ready to start building out our homepage. So let's get started. Now, to view all your products, I'm sure you know this by now, we want to go into products right here and click on all products. Once we do that, then a list of all our products will appear here. Now, in the event that you guys want to make a quick edit to the product itself, we can simply click on quick edit. From here, you can go ahead and change your price. You can change whether it's taxable or not. You can also go ahead and adjust your categories over here. And there are a few more things that you can do within the quick edit section. So once you've done editing your section, you want to go ahead and click on update. All right, so let's go ahead and customize our home page. So we want to go to pages here. We want to click on all pages. And from here, we're going to choose home and we're going to do edit with Divi. All right, so here we are. We have the 3 different options right here, but we're going to build from scratch. So we're going to click on start building. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and create our hero section. So to do that, we're going to click on this little blue plus right here, and we're going to click on full width. From here, we're going to click on full width header. All right, now we have that. Let's X that out just for a second. And what we're going to do, we're going to delete this up here. So as you hover over to the top, you're going to see a section right here. Now this blue area is your section. So we're going to delete that and only have this section area remaining. As you hover, we're going to see this little gear icon right here. And we're going to click on that. We're going to click on design. We're going to click on layout and we're going to make this full screen. So now we have a full screen layout. All right, so let's go ahead and add our image. All right, so in preparation for this video, I had gone ahead and created an image using Photoshop. Now, if you want to learn how to create that image in Photoshop, I'll leave a link below where I show you exactly how it was done. So for this tutorial, I'll just go ahead and grab that image. So I'm going to go here to the gear icon. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to scroll down to background. Then I'm going to go over to this section here, which is image. Then I'm going to add a background image. All right, so the background image is right here. And this is our background image. All right, so now that we have the background image, we now need to pull in an image for the background. So to do that, we're going to go right here. And then we're going to head to header image. We're going to add image. Then we're going to select, I believe it was this one. And then I'm going to click on upload image. So there we have the image right there. All right, perfect. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove this content and add our own. So to do that, we're going to go back into the gear icon here. And we're just going to replace this with the information that we want to have. So here I'm going to say something like supercharge your sales. And for the subtitle, I'm going to say something like massive discount. You can't afford to miss. And let me replace that. All right, so massive discount, get 50% off selected items. All right, and then as we scroll down, we're going to remove this content right here. All right, so let me move this over to the right so you can see what's going on. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and design this a little bit better, make the font a little bit bigger, and also this one right here. So to do that, we're going to go over to design. We're going to click on title text. So as you can see, as I hover over title text, you'll see the highlighted section. If I scroll down to subtitle text, you'll also see the highlighted section. So we're going to click on title text right here. And we're going to change the font size to Poppins. And then we're going to increase the font weight to around semi-bold. And and we're also going to increase the text size to 85. Perfect. Then what we're going to do next is widen the spacing between the letters. So we're going to use that, and we're going to do, let's say, 2px. And then for the line height, we want to give it a little bit more spacing. So 1.2 em is perfect. All right, so now that we have this style, let's go ahead and select this one. So the other option in selecting your text for design is to use this little icon right here. So once we click on that, it takes us directly to the section that we need. So we're going to go again, and we're going to adjust the font. We're going to change the font to Poppins. Then we're going to make this one light. Then we're going to increase the font size. Okay, that looks about right. And then we're going to increase the letter spacing. And we're also going to increase the line height. So this one we're going to do 1.3. All right, perfect. Now the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to style this button right here. Now to do that, we're going to go back into design. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to button 1. And then we're going to click on this little box right here. And then we're going to grab a color. Now I use something that's called a color picker. So I click on that, and then I can actually grab this color right here, and then I can actually do this, paste it in, and that's not the area that I need. Sorry about that. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit more. So right here is where I need that color picker color. All right, perfect. So now we have this right here, and it's perfect. Now let's scroll down to border width. So we're going to remove the border width, or reduce the border width to 1px, and that should do it. All right, now before we continue onwards, guys, I just want to make note that I did make some changes before continuing onwards. Now, the changes I did was related to some flickering issues I was having with the hero section while building out the second section. Now, because I used the full width feature, I guess that was the reason why we had that flickering. So I went ahead and changed it over to using another method. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this other method right now, how to create the same hero section using this new method. Now, if you're not experiencing flicker, then you can continue as is. Now, in the event you begin to experiencing that flicker, then you can go ahead and change it. All right, so let's get started. All right, now as you scroll down just a little bit, you're going to see your little plus icon right here. You want to go ahead and click it. For you, it might be purple. For me, it's going to be the blue. So what you're going to do now is you're going to click on regular. Now that you click on regular, we're going to see this little box pop up with your different column sections. Now all we're going to do is we're going to click on this 2-column layout right here. Now we're going to X that out for a second. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go to this little gear icon right here, and we're going to go to design. We're going to go to sizing, and what we're going to do here is we're going to increase the width to 100%. We're also going to increase the max width to 100%. And then we're going to click on that check mark. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on this little plus icon right here, and we're going to open up our module section. So the module that we want in this area is going to be the text module. And over to the right side, we want the image module. All right, perfect. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we want to create our background. So to do that, we're going to click on this little gear, so the blue gear icon, and we're going to click on background. We're going to go to the 3rd column here. All right, so now we're going to click on this little plus to import that background. To do that, we're going to look for our background image, and then we're going to click upload image. All right, so now we have it here. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to import our headset. So to do that, we're going to click on this icon over here to the right. We're going to click inside this box, and then we're going to look for our headphone. So I believe this is the one that I need. I'm going to click on image, and there we have our headphone right there. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change the content inside here and make it to what we want. So what we need right here is, I'm going to change mine to enhance your entertainment. I'm going to change this to an H2. I'm then going to go down one, and I'm also going to put this in. This is going to be an H3, and then we're going to go over to design. Now that we're over to design, we're going to scroll all the way down to spacing. Now we want to move this a little bit from the left margin and a little bit more inwards. So to do that, we're going to go to margin, and we're going to type 100 px. Now the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to increase the size. So we're going to go to heading text. We're going to choose H2. We're going to choose the default font, and then we're going to choose that font that we need, which for me is going to be Poppin. Once I do that, I'm also going to change the font weight to bold. Then I'm going to change the color to white. I am going to increase my text size to around 70. Let me go 75 or 80. All right, so 80 looks good. Then I'm going to increase my spacing here, my letter spacing. Then I'm also going to increase my line height. All right, perfect. Now we need to get this a little bit more inwards. There we go. All right, now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back to heading text, and we're going to choose the H3. So we're going to go to font. We're going to change the font over to Poppin. Then we're going to make this a little bit lighter, and then we're going to change the text to white. Now here we're going to make it a little bit lighter. We don't want it too white like this one right here, so we're just going to give it more of a light shade of gray. And I think I have the X color here, so I'm just going to pop that in and then hit that check mark. All right, perfect. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to increase the size. All right, and then what we're going to do next is increase the letter spacing and also increase the line height. All right, I think this might be a little bit too big, so let me go down just a little bit more. And I'm going to take the U here. Let's see if I can do that. All right, perfect. And there we have it. All right, now let's continue. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add the button. So we're going to just type button. Now we want to make it aligned with this text right here. So to do that, we're going to go to design. We're going to go to spacing. We're going to choose margin left, and we're going to type 100 px. All right, so let's go ahead and style our button. So what we're going to do next is we're going to scroll up to button right here. We're going to enable this, use custom style for button. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to change the button text color to white. And then next, as we scroll down, we're going to change the background color to another green color. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a hex code, and then I'm going to pop it inside here. And then I'm going to check this, and there we have our new background. As we scroll down, I'm going to reduce the border width to 1, and for the border radius, I'm going to increase this to 10. All right. Now for the letter spacing, I'm going to increase this also. And for the font size, we can keep that at, I think it's up here, we can keep that at 20. Now for the button font, we're going to change that now to Poppin. And we're going to make this light. And there we have it. So now we have our customized button. All right, so once we do that, we're going to click this check mark and then we're going to hit on save. And that's it. That's how we create our hero section using this other method. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scroll back up and I'm just going to delete this right here. So let me go. All right, I'm not able to do it because I believe I had done something here. So what we can do, if you're trying to get to a section and you're unable to do that, what we can do is go right here, and this is going to bring up what is called a wireframe view. So once we're in the wireframe view, you're going to see all the components here. So we're going to see the section, the row, and the modules. So what we want to do is we just want to delete this entire module or section, I should say. Then we just uncheck that and there we go. All right, so we're going to click on save again. Make sure it's saved and we're all set. All right, now before we move any further, what I'm going to do is make our lives a little bit easier. Now you notice each time I need a color, I have to be going to another screen and grabbing a color and so forth. Now there's a much easier way of doing this, and I did this purposely so you'll understand how important it is for this next step. Now what we're going to do is basically set our colors globally. So when we go, let's say, into a module section, we go to design and we're trying to find a color. Our custom colors are going to be here instead of these default colors. So let's see how we can do that. Now what we're going to do is go here and then we're going to right click on dashboard and open in a new tab. So we're going to go here to that new tab. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to Divi and we're going to go to theme option. All right, now that we're at theme option, you're going to see this little palette right here. So color picker default palette. Now white, black, pretty standard. So we're going to go ahead and customize right here with our own colors. So for me, I'm going to head over to a section where I have all my little information written out. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to copy, then I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to click on this red. And then I'm going to drop this hex code in here. Then I'm just going to click on enter. I'm going to go back, choose the next one, and hang on a sec. Okay, now I'm going to go back, choose this one right here. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to click on that color and I'm going to enter it here. So you guys kind of get the idea as to what I'm doing. So I'm just going to hurry and do this and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm done. So once we've completed that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on Save Changes. Then we're going to head back over to our website and we're just going to refresh. So make sure you're saved. Make sure your information is saved. And then we're going to just refresh our screen. All right, now if we go back into the design section and we click on heading text and we scroll down, you're going to see our custom colors here. All right, now that makes our lives a little bit easier versus going back and forth looking for the hex code and doing this and that. This makes it 100% easier. So let's continue to create our e-commerce store. Hey guys, what's going on? Ray here, and I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch this tutorial. Now, just like I did when I just started out, I'm sure you guys want to build your own website for your business. And this is why I've chosen to use the Divi theme builder. Reason being, it's extremely user-friendly and easy to understand. So once we complete this tutorial, guys, you're gonna have the experience and the know-how how to create any website design of your choice. So whether you want to do it for yourself, or you want to do it for a friend, or you just want to do it as a business, the steps shown in this tutorial will be able to be applied to any design you choose. So without further ado, let's keep going and let's start building out our third section. All right, so let's continue. So we're going to go right here and we're going to click on this little plus icon right here. So this is where we're going to add a new section. We're going to now choose regular right here. That is going to allow us to now add columns. So inside here, I'm going to choose the 3-column layout. All right, now that we've done that, what we're going to do next is we're going to search for a blurb module. And inside the blurb module is where we're going to add what we need. So right here, we're going to say for this one, it's going to be free shipping. And right here, we're going to remove that content and we're going to say shipped in US only. All right. Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go to image and icon. And we're going to use an image. So right here, we're going to click on image. And the image that I'm going to use for this one is going to be this one right here. Now for icons, you can always go to this website right here, which is icon8.com, or you can always go to this website right here, flaticon.com. This is where you can get some free icons for your designs. All right, so let's continue. So now what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the size here. So we're going to go over to design and we're going to click on image and icon. Once we're there, we're going to change the placement from top to left. Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to change the width from 100% to 70 px. As we scroll down, next thing that we're going to do, we're going to make it more positioned, centered to the free shipping and shipped in US only. So to do that, we're going to do a negative value of negative to 0. All right, perfect. Now that we have that, let's go over and start styling the free shipping text. So now that we're here, we're going to click on title font. We're going to choose the font that we need, which is Poppins. And the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to change the font weight to semi-bold. We're also going to increase the font size to around 24. And we're also going to increase the letter spacing. Next, we're also going to increase the line height. Perfect. Now, next thing that we're going to do is this one right here, shipped in US only. We're just going to click on that little pencil icon right there, and it's going to take us to where we need to be. So we're going to click on body font. We're going to again go ahead and choose Poppins. I'm going to keep this at regular, and for the font size, I'm going to make this around 16. Next, I'm going to increase the letter spacing to about 1, and the body line height, I'm going to say 1.3. Looking perfect. All right. Now the next thing that we're going to do is that we want a border right here. So to do that, we're going to click back into the gear icon. We're going to go back to design. We're going to scroll down to border. And we're going to choose this 3rd column border right here. As we scroll down, we're going to increase the border width to 1, and we're going to change the color to this text color right here. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to now add some padding left and right. So to do that, we're going to go to spacing, and right here we're going to do padding left and right around 20% or 20px, and we're going to drop, and we're also going to check this little link right there to make sure it's linked both left and right. So the value that's on the left is going to be the same on the right. We're going to click on OK. All right, let's continue. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, now that we have this pretty much to what we need, we're going to now duplicate this 2 more times. So 1 and 2. We're then going to drag it. So we're just going to place our mouse here, left click and hold, drag over, left click and hold, drag over. And what we're going to do at this point is we're going to now change it to what we need on these other 2 columns. So we're going to click back into the gear. For this one, I'm going to choose 100% satisfaction, and I'm just going to say dedicated customer service. All right. Next, for this one, I need to change the icon here. So to do that, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to change the icon over to this one right here. Sorry, wrong one. This one right here. All right, and then for the final column, we're going to make those changes just the same. This one is going to be quick delivery, and below we're just going to say processed within 3 to 5 days. All right, now that we have this pretty much how we need it to be, what we're going to do is we're going to increase this a little bit. So let's go ahead and go back to sizing here. And what we want to do is we want to increase the width to 100%. And the max width, we want to make that 1420. All right, perfect. Now we have that looking pretty decent. All right, so before we continue, let's go ahead and remove the border over on this one right here. To do that, let's just go back into the gear icon right here, and we're going to go over to design. We're going to scroll down to border, and we're just going to remove the border. So we're going to click on this column right here, and we're just going to remove the border by just going 0px, and that's it. All right, looking pretty good, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and save our work and let's continue onwards. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to select this plus icon again, and we're going to create another section. So this section that we need is going to be a single column layout. So we're going to click on this one right here, and we're also going to look for a text module and drop it right there. So inside here, depending on what you want as your featured item, I'm going to put featured headphones. You can add featured items if you have a selection of items that you want to feature all at once, or you can just feature a category. So I'm going to do a category, so I'm going to say featured headphones. All right, so next, before I go over to design, I want to make this an H2 header. So I'm going to go ahead and select H2, and then I'm going to go over to design. Once I'm here, I'm going to click on heading text, and I'm going to choose H2 right here. Next, I'm going to go ahead and change the font over to Poppins. You can choose whatever font you want. And was it changed? No, it wasn't. Let's go again. All right, and I'm gonna again attempt to change the font over to Poppins. So I'm gonna go Poppins, and next thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna increase the font weight to bold, and I'm also gonna make this white, but not yet. Before I do that, I want to increase the letters. I want to increase the text size to around 40. Let's see how that looks. Good. And then for the letter spacing, I want to make it around 2 pixels. And for the line height, I want to do 1.3. Next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and I'm going to make this white. All right, so it disappeared. Don't worry, we'll bring it right back. All right, so into the section area right here, we want to change the color. So we're going to change the background color here, and I'm going to change mine to black. All right, so now that I've changed it to black, what I want to do now is I want to decrease the margin at the top and also at the bottom. So to do that, I'm going to go over to design. I'm going to go to spacing, and I'm just going to add 0, 0, 0, and that's going to remove all the padding and margins around the content, which is featured headphones. All right, as usual, guys, make sure you go ahead and save your work periodically. All right, so now we're going to head back over to content, and we're going to go down to background. Now that we're here, what we're going to do, we're going to click on this second column right here, and we're going to add a gradient. So we're going to click into the plus sign, and we're going to change this over to green. So that's this color right here. And for the second color, we're going to change that over to black. All right, now what we're going to do now is we're going to just adjust our gradient direction, start position, and end position. So right here, we want 180 degrees, so that's perfectly fine. As for the start position, we're going to make that 10%. And for the end position, we're going to make that 6%. All right. So now we have a nice little line right here at the top, right just above our featured headphones. All right, so now that we've done that, let's save again and continue downward. So we're going to select another section, and we're still going to use regular right there. And this time again, we're going to use a single column layout. Now, what we're going to search for at this point is going to be wool products. And I can't spell products. All right, so we're gonna click on that, and you're gonna see all the products in your shop appear here. Now, again, what I wanted was featured headphones. So I just want headphones to be displayed here. So to do that, inside where we have product view type, I'm just gonna click on that drop down, and I'm gonna choose product category. Next, I'm going to go ahead and look for my category. So now I'm going to choose headphones. All right, so now I have my headphones displayed here. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and design this area. So to do that, we're going to go back into design. We're going to scroll down to title text. I'm going to change my default font to Poppins. And I'm also going to keep this at regular. And for my text size, I'm going to do, let's say 18. And for my letter spacing, I'm going to do 2 pixels. As a matter of fact, I'm going to drop this back down to 16. And I'm going to decrease my letter spacing back to 1. And for my line height, I'm going to make that 1.3. Looking good. Now for this area, the pricing, I'm going to just click on this little pencil icon right here, and that's going to carry me to right here. So now I'm going to change my default font again to Poppins, and for the regular font weight, and for the font weight, I'm going to change from regular to probably semi-bold. Then I'm going to increase my sizing here to around 18. Alright, looking perfect. Alright, now if you notice guys, when we hover over the products, it's kind of faded out. So we want to change that. So to do that, what we're going to do, we're going to scroll all the way back up to here to overlay. And for the overlay icon color, so that's this blue color right here, we can change that over to, let me go with white. As for the overlay background color, I'm going to change that to this color right here. So when we hover, that's what we get. But not to worry, what we're going to do next is we're going to adjust the opacity right here. So we're just going to click on hold this slider right here, and we're going to carry that to around 50%. Then we're going to click on that little check mark, and if we now hover, here we see it. Now for the plus icon that we have here, we can go ahead and change this also. And for me, I'm going to use this right arrow right here. So I'm going to just choose on that right arrow right there, and there we have it. So we're going to click on save, and we're going to save. Now you've just learned exactly how you can add featured products to your store on your homepage. Now instead of featured products, it could be bestsellers. So whatever you want to add on your website, that's perfectly fine. The technique is pretty much the same. Now as we continue building out our website, you're going to learn more techniques, different strategies on how to create and design your webpage. So once we're done with this, you're going to have a professionally designed e-commerce store for your business. Again guys, without me blabbing on, let's continue with the tutorial. Alright, so let's take a look at the next section that we're going to build. So the next section that we're going to build is right here. So it's going to be computers, laptop, and accessories. We have this nice large image over here to the left, and we have the product over here to the right. So let's go ahead and design it. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to first create a new section, and this time we're going to use specialty. This one right here, and we're going to choose this second option right here. Alright, now the next thing that we're going to do, now over here to the left, we're going to add ourselves a image module. So inside here, we're going to choose our image, and the image I'm going to choose is going to be this one right here. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add my product module. So over here, I'm going to choose this layout right here, and I'm going to look for products. Alright, so again, I'm sure you remember what to do. We're going to go ahead and select product category. And for the product category, I'm going to look for desktop, laptops, and accessories right there. Perfect. Next, I'm going to scroll down, and for the column layout, I need a 4-column layout right here. Next thing that I need is to make sure that instead of 12 products count, we have 8. Alright, so let me save that, and that looks pretty good, but that's not yet what we want. So we're going to go back over to this gear icon right here. We're going to select it. We're going to go to design, and we're going to go to size it. Now for here, we're going to type 100% into the inner width section, which is right here. So we're going to do 100%. And for the inner max width, we're also going to do 100%. Notice it gets enlarged to both sides of the screen. Alright, so this looks pretty good, but we want it to look a lot better. So what we're going to do now, we're going to reduce the image here a little bit. So we're going to go into this module right here, the image module. We're going to go to design. We're going to scroll down to sizing right here, and we're going to choose 65%. All right. Next thing that we're going to do, we want to make this center aligned, like right there. And that looks pretty good for that. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to just save changes there. And then for this one, we're going to make some adjustments just the same. So we're going to click into the gear icon. We're going to go to design. We're going to scroll down to sizing. And for the width, we're going to do 80%. All right. Now, once we have that, everything looks a little bit better. So if you notice, we're on the same axis here and also on the same axis here. Now, all we need to do is go ahead and style this a little bit better. So we're going to go back into the gear icon here, and we're going to make some adjustments. So we're going to go back to design. We're going to look for title text, and we're going to change this to Poppins. We're also going to keep this at regular. We're going to keep it at 16. For the letter spacing, we're going to put that at 1. And for the line height, we're going to do 1.3. For the pricing right here, let's just click on that. And for the font, we're going to change that again to Poppins. We're also going to change the font weight to bold. And we're going to increase the text size a little bit to 18. All right. And also for the letter spacing, we're going to do 1. And for the line height, that looks okay. All right. So pretty much we have this looking awesome. Now, instead of going to recreate this all together, what we're going to do is we're going to just hover over this section, and we're going to click on this duplicate section right here. Once we do that, we're just going to grab it. So left click and hold, drag downwards. And there we have it. So all we need to do here is change the content. So right now, I'm just going to put computers, laptops, and accessories. Computers, and accessories. All right, and we're going to click save and make sure that this is saved here. Now, there is a small problem that we have. Now, if you notice, the spacing here at the top is a little bit different from the spacing here at the bottom. So to adjust that, there are two ways in which we can do that. But we're going to do this from this section right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into this gear icon right here. We're going to click on design. We're going to go to spacing. And for the top area right here, margin, we're going to do a negative value of about 150. Too much. We're going to do a negative value of 100. Oops. And we're going to see how that looks. Looks a little bit better. Probably it's a little bit off, but I'm just going to keep it as is. All right, so you guys can go ahead and play around with it. All right, so that's looking pretty good, guys. Now let's go ahead and add a button right here in the center here. So to do that, we're going to scroll down to this little icon. We're going to click on it. And what we're going to look for is button. All right, here we have it. So the button is right there. We're going to just type shop now. And we're going to go into the design tab. We're going to set alignment to center. And we're going to click on button right here. So we're going to use custom style for buttons. We're going to say yes. And for the text size, we're going to increase that to around 24. for the text color, we're going to change that to white. And for the button background, we're going to change that to black. All right. Now here we're going in the advanced section right here. So in the advanced section, this is where we can change the position of our elements. So to do that, we're going to go here to position. We're going to change from default to absolute. And when we do that, notice it's right here at the top. So it's top left, so it's right here in the corner. Now what we need is it to be centered here. So to do that, we're just going to click here on this little icon right here, or this little box right here. And we can see that it's now centered. So here we have the shop now right here in the middle. Now we can go ahead and style this a little bit better if we want, but for right now, I'm pretty okay with it. So we're going to go ahead and click on save. And we'll come back into adding the links later down into the tutorial. Now let's go ahead and add some animation to our page. All right, so first thing that we're going to do, let's go ahead and style this a little bit better by giving it some shadow on the corners. So to do that, we're going to go back into this module right here. We're going to click on design. We're going to scroll down to box shadow, and we can then apply this style to it. Now it's a little bit subtle, so we can make some adjustments. So I'm going to go ahead and make this 12 px or pixels. And I'm going to just add 8 pixels to here, so it gives it that nice shadow effect. All right, next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and save changes. And for this module right here, what I'm going to do now is go back to design, scroll all the way down to animation. And for slide, I'm going to click on that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it come from the left. So there it is. All right, now I'm going to make it a little bit more subtle because it's a little bit too fast and too aggressive. And I don't want it also coming from the top, so I'm going to adjust the animation intensity. So I'm going to just bring it all the way down to around 10% and go ahead and save. All right, so let's go ahead and take care of the hover effect. So we want to go back into the module, and we're going to click on design, and we're going to go to overlay. Once we're here, we're going to choose the overlay icon color to white. We're going to choose the background color to this color right here, orange-ish. And we're going to reduce the opacity to around 50%. So pretty similar to what we did a few steps before. All right, now that we're there, we now have the hover effect, and all we need to do is change the icon. So we're going to scroll down just a little bit and change the icon to this right arrow icon right here. All right, so now we're all set. So let's go ahead and save this, and we're also going to save. So I'm going to Control S to save it. Now, one of the most important aspects of a web design is ensuring that your website is mobile responsive. So what we want to do now is we want to go ahead and make sure that the website that we currently have is mobile responsive. So we're going to scroll back up and start from the top. So now what we're going to do is we're going to click on this right here. So if yours is not expanded and it's like this, we want to go ahead and expand it. Once we do that, we're going to see this option over here. So here we are on the desktop view, we're on the tablet view, and this is the phone view. So let's go ahead and look at the tablet view first. All right, so on the tablet view, doesn't look too bad. On the phone view, it looks horrible. So let's go ahead and fix that. All right, so let's get back to the tablet view. So on the tablet view, it looks pretty decent. However, we want to make it centered. So to do that, we're going to go back into this gear icon right here. We're going to click on design. Let me move that over here to the right. We're going to go into heading text. We're going to choose H2, and we're going to scroll all the way down to font size. So here where we have text size, that looks okay. If you want to go ahead and change it, we can do that. Now, to make these changes, the most important thing that you need to do here is to ensure that this is enabled. So once we enable that, we're now going to see the desktop view, tablet view, and phone view. So once you're on the tablet view, you can make any changes and it will only affect the tablet. Now, anything that affects the tablet will also carry forward to the phone view. If you make changes on the phone view, it will not affect the tablet view. So just keep that in mind. So what we're going to do, we're pretty okay with this size. So all we need to do now is make it centered. So we're going to scroll down just a little bit, or scroll up just a little bit. And as we hover over here, see, notice, as we hover, we're going to get this little icon right here. We're going to check it and we're going to make sure that we're on tablet view. Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to choose center aligned. All right, we're going to do the same for this here. So we're going to go here. There's this little pencil, click on it, and we're going to scroll down to here, make sure this is enabled, and we're going to choose center aligned. Now, if you notice, guys, we're a little bit off here, and that is because we made some adjustment on the desktop view. So to fix that, what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to this module right here, and we're going to go all the way down to spacing. Once we're here, we just want to make sure that we remove this 100 pixel. So to do that, we want to ensure that we again check that, ensure that we're on tablet view, and we want to do 0. Boom, there it goes. Now let's do the same thing for the shop button. All right, so let's go ahead and save that and go back to the shop button right here. And we're going to go to design. We're going to click on alignment. Here, again, make sure that this is checked, guys. And we're going to go here to center align. And that's all. All right, now let's go ahead and look at it on the phone view. So we're just going to click on phone here. And we definitely want to reduce the font size here. So to do that, we're going to go back into our design section. We're going to click on heading text. We're going to click on H2. And as we scroll down to text size, we want to ensure that we are checked on phone. And we then want to reduce the font size. So 40 pixels looks good. All right. Next, we want to adjust this one right here. So again, let's go ahead and ensure that that is enabled. Scroll down, ensure that this is enabled right here. And we want to reduce the font size. This does not look very presentable. So let me go a little bit lower. Let me try 16 pixels. 16 pixels is perfect. All right, then we want to make sure to adjust the shop now button. But before we do that, let's create some padding left and right here. Now to do that, let's go back to spacing here. And for the padding, I want to do around 20 pixels left and right. Again, all right, let's make that 10. All right, that looks good. Now let's save that and take care of the shop now button. So for the shop now button, we're going to go to design and we're going to scroll down to spacing and we're going to remove the margin. Again, guys, remember to enable that and then 0. Awesome. So now we have that responsive, and let's make sure that we go ahead and save our work. Let's take a look at it on the tablet view. And of course, we know what it looks like already on the desktop view. All right, now let's go ahead and make this a little bit better. So let's go ahead and click on the row settings. We're going to go back into design and we're going to click on spacing. Now for the margin, we're going to enable that, ensure we are on tablet view. And for the left side, we're going to do around 103. And that looks pretty centered. All right, so it looks good on the tablet. So let's go down to the mobile. And for the mobile view, something looks off. And I think I know what. Now, when we made that adjustment here on the tablet view and we pushed it over 103 pixels, what it did is that it pushed over also the viewport. So we want to adjust that again. So let's go down here to the phone view and we want to change this back to 0. And there we have it. So again, guys, a lot of different things when it comes to web designs. We just got to know how to figure things out. All right, so we have that looking good. Now for the featured headphones, that's looking good. And for computers, laptops, and accessories, that's looking okay. Now here, if you notice that we have the text right here, pretty much at the edge. So we want to make sure that it's a little bit indented. So to do that, let's go back to, let's save that first. Let's go here and all right, so we're going to click on the row settings and we're going to go back to design. We're going to click on spacing and here we're going to put about 30 pixels left and right. And there we have it. Looking good. All right, so let's scroll down and all is looking good, guys. Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead, guys, and go back to our desktop view. I'm going to scroll back down and then I am going to create a new section. So I'm going to go ahead and click on regular and I'm going to choose this module right here. And this time I'm going to look for an email opt-in module. So email opt-in, that's what I'm going to look for right here. All right. And what I'm going to do next is right here, I'm going to say get 10% discount off your next purchase. All right, then I am going to go over to here and I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to say something like, I guess I can just copy this over from here. So I'm just going to paste this in, save some time. And then we're going to scroll back down and right here where we have email account, we want to remove some of these fields. So we have show first name. We want to remove that. We also want to remove the last name field. So we just want the email field and the subscribe button here. All right, now we're going to go over to design and we're going to go to title text. And right here, we're going to go ahead and change the font to Poppins. You always want to remain consistent when you're creating a website. I'm going to make this bold. And I'm going to give this around 40 pixels. And then for the letter spacing, let's do about 1. And for the line height, let's give it around 1.3. All right, perfect. Now let's go ahead and take care of this section right here. So we're going to go back there. We're going to change this to Poppins. We're also going to make this light and we're going to increase the text size to around 18. Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to make this center aligned. All right, perfect. Now, next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to go back into content because we want to now change the background color here. So we're going to scroll down to background And what we're going to do, we're going to choose this background color, black. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over to here, which is the gradient section. And we're going to make some adjustments. So we're going to click on gradient. We're going to make the first one green, which is this right here. And for the second color, we're going to select black. All right. Now, as we scroll down, we're going to now change the values here. So we're going to keep this at 180. We're going to make this 10%, and we're going to make this 6%. So the start position is going to be 10%. The end position is going to be 6%. Now, for the button here, the subscribe button, let's go ahead and fix that. So we're going to go back down to button. We're going to use custom styles. And for the text color, we're going to keep that as is. As for the background color, we're going to choose this color here. And for the border width, I'm going to reduce this by 1 pixels. All right, so we're looking good. Now, as we go along, we're just going to take care of the mobile responsive side of things. So we're going to click on tablet view. And as you see, does not look good there. So we are going to fix that. So to do that, we're going to click right here on the pencil icon. We're going to go to the text size, and we're going to make sure that this is checked right here. We're on tablet view, and we're going to reduce it to around 25 pixels. All right, awesome. The letter spacing can remain as is, and also line height can remain as is. Let me see something here. All right, that looks even better. Okay, so we're at 22 pixels, and that looks good. Let's reduce this one right here just a little bit and see what it looks like. So reducing this to around 16 pixels. Let's do 14. 14 looks perfect. All right, awesome. Now the next thing here is that the spacing here is too wide, so we need to adjust that. So before we do that, let's just finish with this and go back to the mobile view. So we're going to go onto the phone view right now. And for the phone, it looks okay. We just need to push this down away from here. So to do that, let us go to spacing. I'm looking for spacing. All right, so we're at spacing, and we're going to give it some margin of around 15 pixels. That does not work. 20. All right, so 50 pixels works perfectly. All right, so we're all good there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to save that, and we're now going to go into the main section right here, and we're going to give it a negative value to push the module up. Here we're going to do, let's say, negative 100, see what happens. Let's go a little bit higher, 150, and that looks good. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and save that. Save. Let's go back to the tablet view, and let's go also back to the desktop view. All right, perfect. Now let's go ahead and create another module right here. And this module is going to be using a single column, and we're going to look for a text module. So we're going to go here, and inside the text module, we're going to type clearance. Sail out. All right. Now let's go ahead and give it some styling. So we want to make sure that this is an H2 header, and we want to make sure that we go over to design, go to heading, and select H2. We're going to go ahead and change our font size or font type to Poppins. Regular font weight, I'm going to do bold. And for the size, I'm going to do 35. Let's do 40. All right. And then for the letter spacing, let's do 2. And for the line height, let's do 1.3 EM. Now let's go ahead and create another section here. And this section, we're going to have a food products module. All right. Now here, we're going to go ahead and select sales product. And then we're going to have the default layout change over to 4. And as for the elements, that can remain as is. All right, now I want to make some changes here. So to do that, we can always go back into the column structure right here. And I want to change it over to this structure that we have here. So over here, what I want to do is add a image module right there. And for the image module, I'm going to choose this image right here. And next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to add a button inside here. Now, before I do that, let me go ahead and increase the width here. So to do that, I'm going to go inside the row settings, go to design, go to sizing. We're going to increase the width there. And then for the max width, I'm going to do 1420. All right. Now go ahead and save changes. Now here, I also want to make this border rounded right here. So I'm going to go back into the design section in the image module. I'm going to go to border and then I'm going to say about 20. All right, so 20 pixels affects all 4 corners. Next thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a button here. So I'm going to go ahead and look for a button module. And I'm going to say shop now. Again, I'm going to go into design section. I'm going to click the alignment, which is going to be center aligned. I'm going to go down to the button section, use custom style button. I'm going to enable that. And for the button text, I'm going to say about 24. Next, I'm going to go for the color. I'm going to do white. And for the background, I'm going to do black. All right, now for the border width, I'm going to let that stay for the time being. But for the border radius, I'm going to do around 10. Now, if you remember how we had this up here centered, we are going to do the same thing here. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video if you want and go ahead and attempt it on your own. In the meantime, let's continue. All right, so we're going to go over to advanced. We're going to go down to position. We're going to change position default to absolute, and then we're going to make this centered. Now, doesn't look pretty good, does it, guys? All right, no problems there. All we need to do is we need to go back into design, scroll down to text. No, not text. We need to go to button, not text, sorry. And we need to reduce the font size back to around 20. All right, so now we have it. And let's decrease it a little bit more. All right, that looks good. So 18 pixels, perfect. All right. Now let's add some shadow to this module right here. So to do that, let's go back up to, or let's go back down to box shadow. We're going to choose this option right here. For the horizontal position, we're going to do 10 pixels. For the vertical position, we're going to do 10 pixels. And I'm not seeing anything there. Oh, my bad. I'm actually on the button settings. I'm sorry, guys. All right, let me just get out of that and go into this module right here. Go back to design. We're going to go down to box shadow. We're going to choose that. And we're going to make this 10 pixels. And for the vertical, we're going to do 10 pixels just the same. All right. Now that looks pretty good. So let's take care of the hover effect here. So we're going to go into this module right here, and we're going to go back to design. We're going to go to overlay. We're going to change the icon color to white. We're going to change the background overlay to orange-ish. We're going to change the opacity down by 50%. And we're going to just make sure that's checked. And we're also going to change the icon to that arrow. All right, and that's pretty much good. Let's go ahead and save it. Now, spacing here and here, too much. So let's go ahead and make some adjustments. So we're going to go into this section right here. We're going to go to design. We're going to go to spacing, and we're going to reduce the borders here. All right. Next, inside here, we're also going to change the values here. So go into design, we're going to go to spacing, and we're going to do the same thing. 0, 0, 0. All right, awesome. Now this, if you notice guys, is not aligned to this, and that is because the width on this row section is 1420, but the width on this is only 1080. So we're going to go into this row module. We're going to go to design. We're going to go to sizing, and we're going to change the width and also the max width to 1420. There we have it. Then next thing, and I believe maybe the final thing on this module right here, is adjusting the font. So we're going to go back into the module. We're going to go to design. We're going to scroll down to title text. We're going to change the font size and the font itself to Poppins, and we're going to keep it at regular. But for the size, we're going to keep the size as is. For the letter spacing, let's do around 1, and for the line height, let's do 1.3. Again guys, we're keeping some level of consistency. Now for the pricing, we can keep the pricing as is because this is just a one row, so we don't want to make it too large, right? All right, but again, you guys can go ahead and play with it. All right, let's go ahead and save it and see what it looks like on tablet view. And on tablet view, we want to make sure that we have some padding to the left and right. So let's do it here first. So we're going to go here. Now we can do it from here, this module. We can do it from the row module, or we can do it from the section module. So I like to do it from the section module. So we're going to go here, go to design, go to spacing, and I'm going to say about 30 px left and right. Click on that. We're going to do the same thing for this section right here. Spacing and left 30 pixels, right 30 pixels. All right. Now let's go ahead and make some adjustment here. So we're going to click inside the module. We're going to go to design. We're going to go to alignment, and we're going to do center aligned, and that looks good. Let's check that. Let's go ahead and save, and let's scroll down to tablet. Sorry, let's scroll down to phone. So on the phone, it looks pretty good also. Now for the clearance, let's go ahead and make some changes here. So we want to make this fit on one line. So we're going to go back to design. We're going to go to heading text, H2, and we're going to make sure that this is enabled. And we're also going to reduce the size here. Let's see what 30 looks like, and then reduce the letter spacing. So I'm going to click on that, and then for the letter spacing, I'm going to reduce it by 1 pixel, and line height can remain as is. All right, now for I believe this could remain as is. I think so. And that's good. All right, let's go ahead and save and save. And let's head back up to our desktop view. All right, so we're almost done with our homepage right here. So let's just scroll up and take a look at it. Now, what I want to do right here before we exit the builder and take a look at the website itself, I want to go ahead and make this animated. So I'm going to go inside this module right here, and you guys don't have to do it if you don't want to, but I'm going to do it nevertheless. So I'm going to go to design, and I'm going to go down to animation. Then I'm going to click on slider right here. And if you notice, it came in from behind and come all the way up front. So that looks pretty good. I want to make the duration a little bit lower and smoother. And for the animation intensity, I'm going to do about that. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to click inside the text module. I'm going to go to design, scroll down to animation, click on slider, and I want this coming in from the left to right, just like that. So I'm going to also increase the duration here. So it's going to be 2000 milliseconds or 2 seconds. Then I'm going to decrease the intensity here to around 20 or maybe 18%. That looks okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and close. For the shop now button, I'm going to do the same thing, make it animated. And I'm going to just make this zoom in. All right. As for the animation duration, I'm going to make that 2000 milliseconds. I'm going to give it a slight delay of around 400 milliseconds. And I'm going to decrease the intensity to about 20%. All right, sounds good, looks good. All right, let's go ahead and save that, and Control S. We're going to save the entire page. And then I'm going to now exit the builder. And see what it looks like. That looks awesome. All right, so as we scroll down, we see some animation there. Now, if you notice here, the form has disappeared, but don't worry about it. The only reason that is, it's because we have not connected our MailChimp CRM to this form. So once that is connected, then the form will be back. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work on the header section, and then we're going to work on the footer section. Once we've done that, we're going to go into the product section, and we're also going to style this page. All right, so we still got some work left to be done. Let's keep it going. All right, so we're back on our home page, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go back into the visual builder here. So we're going to click on that. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start working on our header section. So the easiest way for us to do that is through the visual builder. So we're going to go here and we're going to go to dashboard. And we're going to go down to Divi. Then we're going to hover over and go to theme builder. So I'm going to open this in a new tab. And here is where we can customize headers, footers for different pages also. And we can also customize different shop page like what we're going to do in a few. So what we want to do right now is we want to click on add global header, and we want to build this from scratch. So we're going to go to build global header. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take away the margins here. So we're going to go into this area right here. We're going to go to design. We're going to go to spacing, and we're going to remove all these different margins from the section. All right, once we do that, let's go ahead and save changes. So now you see that it has been reduced. Next, we're going to go here and we're going to add our module. So the module we're going to add here is going to be a menu module. So here we have menu, and we are going to go ahead and choose main menu, which we had set up before. So once we do that, we're going to click on save. Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to go back into the module and we're going to go ahead and add our logo. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my logo. And there it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and adjust the sizing. So I'm going to go into design, scroll down to sizing right here, logo width. I'm going to use my slider and then I'm going to go ahead and make the adjustment. So looks about right. All right. Next thing that I'm going to do now is I want this to go over here to the right. So I'm going to scroll back up to menu text and I'm going to go ahead and change my default font to Poppin. Then I'm going to make this, I'm going to let it remain as regular. For the text size, I'm going to do 18. For the letter spacing, I'm going to do 2. And for the line height, I'm going to do 1.3. All right. Next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to make this right aligned. Perfect. Now, next thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure it is saved. So I'm going to make sure it's saved there. And I'm also going to go back inside here. I forgot to do this. Down by the link section for the logo, I'm just going to add a slash. So that's going to bring it back to the home page no matter which page you're on. So once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and save it and save it. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to X out and ensure that you go ahead and save changes here. Now, next thing that we're going to do is go back into the dashboard and we're going to go and visit our website. So now we have our new header section. Now, one of the good things about Divi is now that we've created the header from the theme builder section, we can now make edits here on the front page. So I'm going to go back into enable visual builder. Then first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to increase the width here in the row settings. So I'm going to go to design, sizing, and I'm going to do 100% there. And I believe I might do around 1600 here. All right, now we have to make some other adjustments. So we're going to go back down to, all right, so let's exit out of that. Now let's go back into this module right here. And we're going to go to design. We're going to go to sizing. And we're going to reduce the logo width again some more. All right, awesome. Now the next thing that we're going to do, because you notice again guys, there's some space here. Inside here is where we need to go to remove those spacing. So back in design, spacing, and we're just going to go 0, 0, 0. And there it is. So once you need to add some padding here, we can easily do that by just adding some padding. And I'm going to do top and bottom, and that looks perfect. All right, so there we have our header section there. Don't forget again guys to Control S to make sure that your work is saved. All right, now let's head back into the builder. And what we're going to do now is we're going to create a footer. So here we're going to add global footer. Click on build global footer, and here we have it just like we did with the header section. So now let's go ahead and add 3 modules. So let's go ahead and add 3 column layout right here. And the first thing I want here is a text. And inside here, I'm going to say contact, and I'm going to make this probably an H3. And then for the contact, 1, 2, 3. I don't need to do 1, 2, 3. For the contact, I'm going to do all right, and that's going to be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33301. All right, telephone number, we can add that as 954-361-5215. That's my business number. And all we need to do now is go in and style it. So we're going to go over to design. We're going to go to text. We're going to choose pop-ins right here. And we're going to make this light. We're going to increase the text size to around 16. We're going to increase the letter space in there, and the line height is about 1.3. All right. Now that we've done that, let's go ahead and save it. Now, another easy way of doing this, guys, instead of doing it column by column, is I'm going to go back into this gear section right here. I'm going to delete this and delete that, and then I'm going to duplicate 3 times. Here we have it. All right. Now, all we need to do is, let's say inside here, we want to add the links. So we can go here. We can do quick links. And for the quick links, we can add, let's say, top page. And we have not made this hyperlinked yet, so we'll do that eventually. So we have the shop page, we have the contact page, or contact, I don't need to write contact page, or contact us. We can have the about us, and down here we can have privacy policy, and then terms and condition. All right, so we're going to come over here, and what we're going to do, we're going to change the contact to follow us. Once we do that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this, and then we're going to go ahead and save it. Next, we're going to create another module here, and this one is going to be for our social media icons. So we're going to go and click on that, and then we can also go ahead and customize it. So we can go here, and if let's say we have Instagram, we can go ahead and look for Instagram right there, and we can go ahead and save it. Now, for the link, this is where you guys would add the link. So we go to the link, you go to your Instagram account, you create your link, and then you copy and paste it here. Same thing for your Facebook and your Twitter. You go to the link section here, you copy and paste your link inside this field, and then you go ahead and save it. Once we've done that, we can then go ahead and click on save. Now, before we continue, let's go ahead and create a background here. So for the background, I'm going to do background. I'm going to do this dark color right here. And what I should have done was change this color into white, but I couldn't have done that because you guys would not have seen the text. So inside here, we're then going to make those changes, go into design. We're going to go to heading text right there. Let's make sure I'm on the right section. I'm going to go to default. I'm going to create a pop-in font, and then for the text size, for the text color, I'm going to do white. All right, now for this one, same thing, design, and let's make sure that I'm on the right setting. And then for the color, I'm going to do a lighter gray like that. And the only thing I'm going to do now is pretty much copy this, copy module style, and paste it over here. Here it is. Awesome. Now we click on save, and then we're going to X out. Make sure that we save it here also. We go back to our main page and we're going to refresh. All right, so as we scroll down, there's our new footer section. All right, now this is looking pretty good, guys. Again, we still got some more work to do.